Hi, good afternoon. Let's see what's going on. Okay. Hi, my name is Costa. I'm Chief Technology Officer at Armis. We are at Armis, we develop and implement digital solutions in the different sectors, like energy, transportation, and sports, public administration. And we are specialized in the enterprise solutions, data, business intelligence, cybersecurity, and artificial intelligence, whether it is securing data, optimizing process, or even enhancing user experience. And today, I would like to bring you a discussion of how we can be prepared to apply AI on cybersecurity and to be ahead on the using AI on cybersecurity. Because the present is shaping the future, it's important to stay ahead in the digital world. For that, I think this requires a proactive approach to emerging security threats. Nowadays, we can't rely only in the data, in past incidents. Cyber threats are changing, are evolving, are innovating. So more than ever, the power of anticipation is extremely important. Having predictive analytics using AI algorithms, using large data sets, and anticipate possible threats is very critical to have AI as our ally on cyber, to create cyber resilience. And so today I have with me, and another important fact is to have the sharing of knowledge, the discussion with different perspectives, and bring to the stage also other intervenants. And today I have with me two distinguished guests. We have going to have a discussion about using AI and being ahead on the play in cybersecurity. And with me I have Paulo Martins, CEO of Euronext Technology, Portugal, and Euronext Group CISO General. He has more than 2 decades experience in the enterprise organizations. And Sander Zeijlemaker is a managing director and founder of Disem Institute. Also is a research affiliate of MIT Sloan and a member of ENISA Security Operations Center's work group. Welcome, Paulo.
Thank you.
So starting our discussions. Okay, starting on discussions. This is a lot more than a race against attacks and responses. Today, using AI is being used. The AI is being used by everyone in attacks and defenses, and we need to embrace AI not just as a tool, but also as a strategic partner. Organizations and attackers are harnessing AI for both offensive and defensive purposes even. This is interplay between AI attackers and defenders. It's like a dynamic chess match, right? We need to be prepared for this. How do we can prepare our organizations to these kinds of scenarios? Starting with you, Paulo.
Thank you, Rui. Thank you all. So I think it's very important I will speak first on the attack part and then on the defense part. So on the attack part, it's not only the threat actor that uses the AI, we also need to understand the potential of the AI in the attack. So we need to understand better what is the threat intelligence that an AI tool can do, because in the past when we were doing cyber threat intelligence, it will take 1 week, 1 month, just to know all the threat landscape, only to know the vulnerabilities, only to know what are the subjects we want to target a specific attack. Now, with AI, this phase is much faster. So the threat actor can know all the cyber threat intelligence information that would take us 1 month to know very quickly. So this is the first thing. And for the defense part, we also need to know this type of tools and what are the tools available for the threat actor. Now, with AI, we also have the type of attacks that are not only the normal attacks to scan ports. So AI now has more elaborated type of attacks, can really simulate a user and a potential human doing the attacks, not only scanning ports or like the old times that we are doing. In the defense, yes, it's important also to monitor all the alerts we have across all technology, all the assets, and for these strange behaviors that can potentially be a target attack. More and more is difficult to know if it is AI doing the attack or a potential human, but this is our work, and as it was said before by different stakeholders, stakeholders here, the human factor is also important in this defense part.
Sander, for the research part.
AI-powered attacks, these threats are real, and they are significantly changing the threat landscape. And today, I will give a glimpse of this new world grappling with phishing and deepfake and AI-powered malware examples. So, to give you an example, in the past, as a native speaker, you could easily detect phishing emails just based on the language being used and the tone of voice in the email. But now, if we look at large language model used by the adversary, like WarmGPT, a phishing email can easily be written like an email from your sister, from your neighbor, from your colleague. And to give you an example, in 2023, phishing attempts went up with almost 500% that year. In Hong Kong, there was a finance employee tricked by a fraudster to pay $25 million because the adversary used deepfake technology to mimic a video conference call with the CFO of that company. And in the US, hackers deepfaked voices of employees compromising system of an IT company, and at the end, they succeeded in compromising 27 customer cloud accounts. Deepfake fraudulent attempts go up by 3,000% in 2023. And another emerging threat is AI-powered malware, and that has two reasons. One, generative AI creates coding capabilities where you don't need the human skill anymore, so it's easier to develop the codes. The other way, you can automate malware attacks. And to give you another example, AI-powered polymorphic malware, for example, like Black Mamba, was able to circumvent endpoint detection and response systems in a laboratory setting. But the fact is, this malware will evolve to automatic aggressive agents that autonomously move across real network topologies, misuse critical vulnerabilities, and are harder to detect and examine. So at the end of the day, AI will have a significant more impact when it's out in the open, it's harder to detect, and their way of working will evolve much faster over time.
Thank you, Sander. But all of this also bring us, all of these uses of the AI also is having, give us some challenges and new threats, new type of challenge to applying this and to have this all available. Having these new tools available like generative AI is facing us to new threats, difficulties to reliability and accuracy of, for example, the biometric systems. Also, all the systems that analyze and process data. This is increasing all the risks, taking care of the unauthorized access to the databases, the risks of the privacy violations, how they are facing and now they are seeing this. What type of new threats and new challenges that we are facing and our organizations are facing nowadays?
Well, I think when you're combating AI-powered cyber threats, it affects the whole organization. And at the board level, cyber risk governance and oversight needs to change. And this change involves three aspects. One, it's critical to have cyber risk and artificial knowledge at board level. Secondly, you need to see that you need to use cyber risk management and artificial intelligence to enable your business. And the third element that's critical is you need to align cyber risk management and the application of artificial intelligence with organizational needs. And those three areas basically set the condition to prioritize, to fund and budget your cyber risk management effort properly. But when you see as the adversary is going to evolve over time, also the tactical options for the defenders do so. And I think this is critically important because there's a significant challenge where the workload of mitigating threats go up. And we already have a risk where we lack skilled security staff to solve the problem. So automation will be key. And we have different examples like extended detection and response capabilities that are powered with AI. You have your security orchestrated automated response capabilities. So XDR and SOAR will help the organization to resolve and detect cyber threats quickly. Another element that's critical is the concept of zero trust. And zero trust is an automated AI-powered gatekeeper that basically tries to evaluate whether people, whether devices, data, products are allowed to interact with your company. And they use, therefore, the identity of that entity, its trust level, but also its security health. Another aspect in this area, when it comes to the human part, you can use biometrics to identify whether a human is real. And when we talk about biometrics, it are biological characteristics and measurements of physiological characteristics that you can use to identify if an individual is real. And this data is much harder to falsify. However, if this data is being compromised, it's much harder to replace compared to a compromised password that you reset and change. And the last part, when it goes to automated aggressive agents, IT hygiene becomes much more important to mitigate vulnerabilities. And you need to segment your network more. And last but not least, multi-factor authentication becomes much more important.
Thank you. Paulo, the regulations.
I just want to reinforce the part that is what you said about privacy and other regulation. That is, we have some regulation that tell us that we need to protect the data, and we have some other regulation that tell us that we need to have a threat on AI. So we need to protect, and in same case, the tools that we are used to protect are the tools that are non-compliant with the older regulation. And imagine this in a company that is present in 10, 15 different countries with local specificities in terms of regulation. And regulation is a challenge by itself, not because we don't need, because we need regulation. I think it's really key, and this is to have a reference in democracy, in how we work, is key to have regulation, but it's also key to align all the regulation. Some of the regulators don't understand what is cyber, don't understand what is these tools, and then we face this challenge between what are the requirements we need to comply with and what are the requirements that are challenging for us to comply with security part. Okay, so this is a challenge we have on a daily basis, and so this is a very interesting topic. So that is, I could talk hours about this, but the different regulations has different requirements, sometimes collide between them. Okay, and this is a challenge we will have for sure in next years, because training of the regulatory people that work in this area is also important. Okay, so just
I have a bigger challenge for you, a bigger challenge that probably all of us, all our organizations want to know how. And coming back to the topic, how we stay ahead on this, how organizations can prepare for this, our organization, not only the organization, but how we prepare our teams for this.
That's a good question. So it's very interesting because our teams think always like AI will replace me. And this is what is in the people's mind, that is, I will be replaced by AI. What I tell my teams is, it will not replace if you think. So there are tasks that I was saying, like the cyber threat intelligence. In the past, we were taking 1 month to collect all the data about a specific company, about a specific person, to see all the footprint, digital footprint. Now it's much faster, so we need people to think, not to do tasks that now are replaced by AI. So we need to continue to tell people they need to change in terms of culture. If it's a process that we can automate, probably yes, they will be replacing that task. But if they think ahead of what they have, to think how can we use that information, until now AI cannot replace us in these so much complex things. The part on red teaming, pen testing, a lot of tasks can be replaced in all the attacks that we have in the value chain, but there is a lot of tasks, how to bypass certain defense cannot be replaced by AI. So, and this is what we need to tell our team, our people, needed to reshape some of the mindset for them to be ahead of the time.
Sander.
We are at the cusp of a new area where artificial intelligence has a profound impact on people, on organizations, and society. And in this context, acquiring a deep understanding is essential by learning, by experimenting, and by exploring what AI can do. However, in the societal debates, what we currently see, there are some organizations that opt for a pause. And when it comes to cyber risk management, this is critical, because when you pause this process of getting understanding, the adversary starts to continue to learn. So ultimately, the gap between attacker and defender will grow. But what you also see in this AI-powered area, time becomes essential in cyber risk management. So the current way of cyber risk management analysis, a retroactive way, is not sufficient anymore. We can't look at the past, look at the current state and guessing about the future. New tools of management will enter the boardroom about governing and overseeing cyber risks, setting priorities, and making investment decisions. And in this area, it's critical to have an understanding about the financial, business, and operational consequences of material cyber threat. So this new technology will be digital twin technology that allows management to simulate how the effectiveness of the cyber risk management strategy will evolve in the next 5 years, considering the context of the organization and their uncertain business environment. And this new technology allows also for exploratory scenario analysis, where they basically can analyze and see what kind of investment options will yield the best outcome, as well as the associated costs with this. And in this situation, creating collective decision-making processes supported by computer-aided tool will outperform others when it comes to profitability and lower your risk exposure.
Thank you. Thank you both. It was really insightful to hear directly from you about how we are preparing ourselves in our organizations. And wrapping up this session, I wanted to give you and left you with some considerations and some points. I think also, rather than relying solely on historical incidents, and organizations should be actually gather and analyze real-time threat intelligence. It was mentioned here also by Paulo. Leveraging machine learning and predictive models is also important. Security teams can identify patterns and anomalies to future signals, to future attacks. Also, security measures should be also adapted and capable of adjusting and to evolving threats. And the proactive threat hunting, like you mentioned your team has, invokes actively seeking out signs of a compromise within the organization network. And one thing that was mentioned by both, the zero trust architecture. Moving away from the traditional perimeter-based security model is important, because zero trust assumes that threat can be originated from both external and internal sources. And finally, one thing that no one mentioned, but the security awareness of the end user. Educating users about current threats, emerging threats is essential. Remember, while historical contexts provide context, cybersecurity must always be forward-focused, anticipating, adopting, and staying ahead of the curve. Thank you all for the session.
Thank you all.
Thank you.